get into it. So, got the remote. It's cool. Set that off to the side right there. There is a quick start guide. Lovely. Now this is the additional stuff. Mainly what I'm going to use from this are the labels. So since I have the Denon X3800H, you know, I have a center, left, right channel, 2 subwoofers, 2 rears, and 2 Dolby Atmos speakers. So I'm going to use this to place the stickers or the labels on my older cables. So essentially when I plug it up to the new one, everything match up, everything go well. So this is very useful actually. I didn't bother to do it on my older one because I didn't think that I would be upgrading this soon. And I don't know where the older one is at, quite honestly. But yeah, definitely going to come in some use. Now this is the calibration stuff. So if you want to run like room correction or things like that, you can set this up to your liking. I don't have a need for it. I don't really care for it, to be quite honest with you. So I manually set my stuff up. And this is the power cable to the receiver. It's packaged nicely like that. All right, now I'm going to have to take this out, okay? So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get this video paused and I can show you this in more detail in a bit. Okay, so got that out the box. Didn't take me too long. So this is packaged nice. Let's take this stuff off so you can see what's going on. Lift that up a bit. Hold it like that. Okay. Move this off to the side a bit like that. This thing does got some weight on it, so just letting y'all know it do has weight on it. Okay, put that off to the side like that. All right, so here's the front. So this is going to be the display, some stickers giving you the promotional and all the features and all that. Master volume, place where you can put a USB into, will come handy, especially if you want to like save your settings to like a flash drive or a hard drive. Maybe you have to do like a factory reset. So comes in. Setup mic, phones, source select, power, and pretty standard, you know, for a Denon receiver. You know, it's consistent. It's consistent. Looks very identical to my S series X970H. And from a build quality perspective, on the outside, it's not going to be that much different, but upgrading from a S series to an X series, internally, the components inside should be higher fidelity based off of the user reviews, the overall community forums, and things like that. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn this just so you're able to see. So some vents, top, solid. And the other side looks just like this. Turn it to the back now. Line that up in frame. Okay. And let's scoot this a little bit closer. Perfect. So we have our direct Odyssey stuff, HDMI, Earl 3D, DTSX, IMAX DTS, IMAX Enhanced, Atmos, compatible with Dolby Vision. What's cool is that all of these HDMIs, so the HDMI out and the ins are all HDMI 2.1 compatible. That's nice. Of course, got an option for our Bluetooth and Wi-Fi antenna. So you're going to want to enable those off of default. And we have our pre-outs, which is lovely. And straight cable, remote control in and out, a trigger out here, FM, AM. Most of this stuff I won't have a need for. Dedicated network, so you can plug in your Ethernet cable. Optical, coaxial digital audio over here. Most of the stuff I'm going to be using is, of course, this AC in for the power, my HDMI out for eARC, my HDMI in, and I have the phenomenal option and flexibility of pre-outs, or I can use the internal amplification from this device itself. So dedicated heights, surround back, surround, center, front left, front right, front left, center, and all that. And I'm golden. So I'm liking the presentation of this because it's just going to be, to me, an extension of my S970H. Just bigger, more powerful, and can last longer. How I see it. All right, so next is getting my setup cleaned up a bit so I can get this joker in the AV rack, media stand, however you want to call it. And can't wait to hook this joker up. All right, so first part of this video was a live commentary. This is going to be the post commentary section. So at this point, what you're seeing in the video, I've already initially set up the Denon, and that is the AVR X3800H. And this is just me showing you what I initially dialed in. Of course, these are always subject to change. I've always believed in consumers' content. I do like manual calibrations, you know, when it comes to the speakers, the distances, the levels of each individual channel and whatnot. So I'm just going to show what I've been pretty much doing here. There was one setting in Ego that I got wrong for me, and that on-screen display, I did not want that always on. So I turned that off afterwards. And for what I'm showing you, I'm just showing you just things that's more straightforward and to the point. Like for my levels, oh, that's the crossover section. I must have skipped levels. 80 hertz. I guess that's equal to the speakers being set as small. They don't have the small to large anymore. They just have the crossovers at how you want them to be. So LFE for the subwoofer, low pass filter, 120 hertz, you know, standard stuff. And I think I eventually do show my levels. So I was kind of like deciding, should I? Because I can change those on the fly, things like that. So I go back into it, and it starts with the test tone. And you see all my stuff is negative up to this point, besides the subwoofer. I'm running those at like, let me pause this. I'm running the subwoofers at 50% volume, and I'm just using the 0 dB. Now, one of the things that I like about this new Denon receiver is the ability to control multiple subwoofers, or in my case, two, independent from each other. So I can raise subwoofer 1 positive, and I can have subwoofer 2 negative, if that was my choice. For me, I like to be consistent when it comes to like my manual calibration, and I have them both set at 0 dB. And on the SVS subwoofer, it doesn't have a gain physical knob. It has like a volume section. And I raised the volume to about 50% on both subwoofers. And by default, Denon does have everything on 0 dB. So you sort of have to listen to some things, listen to some content. I recommend you take your favorite streaming source, listen to some nice bass demos, look at like the streaming Atmos. One of my recommended or go-to Atmos mixes, especially when it comes to streaming, because I think it does. It's a good mix streaming wise. Is Ready Player One. Of course, it's a lot better on physical media, and of course, Kaleidoscape. Got it initially dialed in with Ready Player One, and then just go from there. So that's what you're seeing, with these levels, and they're all negative besides the subwoofers. Now, one important thing that I do want to highlight is that it's showing you my speaker preset. My Dolby Atmos speakers are no longer behind me, as I've shown previously. They're now in front, because when you get this receiver, it assumes you're setting this up with more channels and you're doing more things with it. It's accurate with the two subwoofers. The left and right is exactly how I have it in real life. My rears are not at an angle, but they're behind me. I still hear them. I have not added or purchased my dedicated side surrounds. So when I get those hooked up, that's when I'll show like a update to the media room, and I'll show you all the speakers once more, and that'll be that. All right, so I'll just skip forward from here. Go into my video. So because I have a universal remote solution, so I'm currently using the Sofa Baton X1S. It's no need to have any of this selected. I turned all this stuff off. HDMI control off. ARC, I don't need ARC turned on the receiver because I have my devices plugged directly into the receiver. The only time you need ARC to be on is when, let's say, you want to use your built-in TV streaming applications, or if you plug in your devices directly into your display. That's when that ARC functionality becomes apparent and makes sense. But if you're running your stuff directly into the receiver, just turn that mess off. You don't want no HDMI CEC issues whatsoever. Just turn it off. That's my recommendation. And you see here, the only thing I have on is the HDMI audio out, which is set to AVR. Output settings. This is ensuring that it's only going to display monitor 1. Things like that. Volume. And if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause. I got these set to 8K enhance, but I may have to set the media player to work regular enhance. I'm rocking Cinema EQ. Restore, got that on low. Volume, I'm just using the like negative scale. So it's like, it can bring you closer to reference or give you a sense. That's my limit, my power on level. I like how you can fine tune the Denon settings to your liking. So I didn't want to give up on this AVR brand. I wanted to get something that was going to last, get a warranty on this. Yep, that's about it. And go back here. Yeah, I wanted to get a warranty on this and then just show you just the general setup that I'm doing. I can't speak enough how important like this leveling is. Only because sometimes you may not be sitting a equal distance from each individual channel in your configuration. So I wanted my front stage, as you can see, basically in this case, I wanted the front stage to be more quieter than my rear surrounds, just so I can introduce a bit of that balance back into the equation so that one isn't overpowering the other. You know, just dialing some things in and then taking in consideration of your environment and where your channels are located in your space. These values can start to make much more sense to you. This isn't with room correction or Odyssey. I don't care for that stuff. I have my own two ears and I like to dial in stuff myself. And because I know, since I owned a Denon receiver before, I know the workflow. This is 98% identical in terms of the settings. All right. So that's it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know down in the comment section. If I ramble too much, let me know. I may do a follow-up of a live stream where I have a link. So if anyone want to come on, if you have like a theater setup, a media room, receiver, processor, soundbar, whatever, may have that set up later on for today. Just see how I'm feeling. And until next time, peace out. Thank you for watching and take care. Goodbye.